Welcome back to the channel. This is Extinguisher 10, and today I'm going over a few signings in the NFL and giving my opinion on them. So we are first starting off with, well, this guy, Amari Cooper. He re-signs with the Cowboys for $100 million over 5 years. That's $20 million a season. That is quite the haul for really maybe a top 10 wide receiver. If he's in the top 10, he's at the bottom end of the top 10. He is a very good wide receiver, but is he a $20 million a year wide receiver? I don't think so. But it's Jerry Jones. He loves skill players, and of course skill players are very important, especially in a league driven by the passing game. A wide receiver is very important. He really helped out the offense, so I'm not saying this is a bad move. In fact, it really probably is a good move, especially because they just lost Byron Jones earlier today, so they also had the money to spend. And of course, they gave up quite the draft pick. I think it was a second round, maybe a first round pick for him. So to only get, I think, a year and a half out of him for that kind of price tag, that kind of hurts, especially because I don't think they made the playoffs in that span. The Cowboys are definitely in a win now situation, so keeping talent is very important. The only problem is with the talent on the team, they've got a lot of talented players, but they can't seem to make it work. In a division that nobody seemed to want to win with the bad Giants, with the injured and Redskins, the division was wide open for either the Cowboys or the Eagles to take. And really, it should have been the Cowboys. The Eagles had the most injuries of any team last year. Cornerbacks were going in and out. Linebackers, they cut Zach Brown partway through the season. They were already thin at that spot. Defensive line was getting old and thin. Offensive line, just a turnstile of guys coming in and out due to injury. Running backs, just when they get one back, someone else went down. I mean, injury after injury after injury. Their wide receivers were just non-existent. And they still won the division because the Cowboys just don't know how to make it happen. But re-signing Amari Cooper, I think, is a good move for them. It is going to give them the best shot at actually maybe making the playoffs. Do I think it's going to happen? No, it's the Cowboys. But without him, they're definitely not making the playoffs. Now, another move I want to talk about. In fact, it's two basically very similar moves. So the first one is the Jets signed George Fant for $30 million over 3 years, $10 million a season. That seemed to be kind of the going rate right now, is 3-year, $30 million contracts for offensive linemen, or at least $10 million a season. And it's for not very good offensive linemen either. We have Eric Flowers, who signed the exact same contract, 30 over 3. And while George Fant was at one point supposed to be the Seahawks starting left tackle, that season he was injured, I think, in the first game or in the preseason, and he was out for the year. And after that, they tried to replace him because he wasn't really that good of an option in the first place. Most of the time, he played as an extra lineman, which he played as a tight end in college, so it kind of makes sense. You line him up at tight end, you can every once in a while kind of send him out on a route, and he has fun, and everyone goes, yay, look at the big guy run. But really, he's in there for blocking, and he wasn't that great at it. Is he a good backup to have? Yeah, he's a very good backup. He's versatile with his athleticism. Is he a starter? Borderline. $30 million over 3, that is just really... $10 million? No. I mean, that is just ridiculous for this caliber of player. And then we have another one. I'm not even going to try and say his first name. It is the old Eagles tackle Vaitai. But the Lions signed him for $50 million over 5 years. So yeah, it was a little longer, but it's still $10 million over 5 years. He basically has a similar story as to George Fant. He mostly only played when other guys were injured, and he was okay enough in those situations, but he is not somebody you want to sign to be your bell cow, to be the guy who is gonna be the man on the offensive line. $50 million for a guy who is a very good backup, maybe a borderline starter. That is just ridiculous. So I don't know what these teams are thinking, but they're doing it. They are spending the money on their offensive linemen, and damn. But that's going to do it for this video. I just wanted to go over those 3 signings. There have been a lot of very interesting moves in the last 24 hours. I have several other videos that went up before this one talking about a bunch of the other moves, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested in more things like this. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to give me a big ol' like. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this, in addition to that kind, we also have gaming content with Madden 20, MLB 20, and Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr. So if that interests you, jump on down, hit that big red subscribe button below, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And until next time, this is Extinguisher 10 signing out. Have a great rest of your day.